Alright guys, here is a crazy match with Ludicolul, part of the charity event that I battled in, so here we go. I lead with my Hippowdon, and he leads with a Smeargle, and I know what he's going to do. He's going to spore me, and that kind of sucks, because now I'm asleep, and I don't like being asleep. So, yeah, that's kind of annoying. So I have to switch. I'm going to go down to Tyranitar. This is my Tyraniboa again, and I'm just going to set up a sub because I'm pretty sure he's going to try to set up some entry hazards on me, like that stealth rocks and spikes and annoying stuff like that. So I go for the sub, and yeah, he goes for spikes, and that's not good. So I'm just going to go for the focus punch, and this actually really surprised me. I did not know Destiny Bond went through substitute. I should really go check Smogon more often about those specific kind of things, because I was thinking, if he Destiny Bonds, I'll be okay. I have my sub. Except not really, because Destiny Bond went through the sub and killed my Tyranitar, so that's not good for me. He's off to an early advantage with his Stealth Rocks, and I have a Sleeping Poke and a Dead Poke, and he has 5 living pokes left. So I think that kind of sucks. So I go out into my Flygon, he goes out into his Flygon, and I am going to switch back in my Hippowdon because I do not trust speed ties. And I know my Hippowdon can take just about anything that this Flygon can throw at me. He goes for an Outrage, doesn't even do half. I mean, not even close, actually, all things considered. He's going to go for another one because he's locked into it, but I actually wake up this turn, which is epic for me, and get off a Slack Off. So, like, all of that damage, gone. In fact, this Hippowdon goes completely beast mode in this battle. It just cannot be taken down. This is a physically bulky Hippowdon. These things are nearly indestructible to physical attacks. It's freaking epic. So, yeah, he goes out into Gyarados. I take out this time to set up Stealth Rocks, and I'm not really sure what he's going to do. I decide to try to Roar just in case he tries to go Dragon Dance. I just don't want that at all. But he ends up taunting, which sucks, and I should have expected it, but oh well. So I'm taunted, and I can't Roar, and that really sucks for my Hippowdon because my only attack move on it is Earthquake, which of course doesn't work on Gyarados. So I'm going to have to switch. I go out into Flygon, which is my Choice Scarf Flygon, and I do that just because it's the only thing that can outspeed a Gyarados after a Dragon Dance, but he just goes for a Waterfall. And I do have the Stone Edge, but I decide instead to go for the Outrage because I figure if he goes for the Dragon Dance and I miss, it would kind of suck. So I'm just going to go for the Outrage because even if he goes for the Dragon Dance, like I said, I'm faster still. So I go for the Outrage. It doesn't quite kill him, and he is going to be able to take me out with Waterfall, but he still doesn't have a Dragon Dance, so I know I can go into my Revenge Killer, Gengar, just to finish it off. So I go out into my Gengar. I'm just going to finish it off with Shadow Ball because it's a move that should finish it at this point, so that's what I do. And yeah, I hit it with Shadow Ball, and it does take down the Gyarados. I do get a crit, but I'm pretty sure that was a meaningless one. Not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure that was a meaningless one. The Gyarados is pretty low. So he goes out into Scizor, and I'm fearing the pursuit of the Bullet Punch, and I predict correctly for once because I never predict correctly when it comes to Gengar versus Scizor, but this time I did, and I go out into Hippowdon, and he takes the Bullet Punch like a champ, and it is a choice band Scizor because I don't see a Life Orb or leftovers or anything like that, and yeah, it's Choice Banded, and I take it like a champ. Look at me, just taking those bullet punches and then slacking it off. That is pretty epic. And, wow, my Hippowdon is freaking epic. That's all I have to say. So, yeah, he goes out into Flygon, and, yeah, this Flygon is annoying because I can't really do anything to it, but I can just I can just Roar it, and he U-turns, which is good because I did Roar this turn, so I'm going to get some nice Stealth Rock damage on his team, like it gets them Stealth Rock damage on that Scizor, I Roar, and then he's going to get some Stealth Rock damage on this incoming Electivire, and these things are normally physical, so I feel okay staying in just trying to kill this thing with Earthquake. But this Electivire ends up being part special because he ends up hidden powering me, and that's super effective, and it really hurts because my Hippowdon can't really take special attacks too well. But I do survive it, and I get the Earthquake off, and that will KO the Electivire. So that's pretty good for me because I take down that Pokemon, and yeah, taking down Pokemon is always a good way to win the battle. But now I'm quite confident that he doesn't really have anything to hurt me. So he goes out into Flygon, and I'm like, okay, fine. He's going to Outrage try to kill me, but I don't even think Outrage is going to kill me, judging by how much it did the first time. And look at that. It didn't even, like, wow. That's just ridiculous. So I get off a Slack Off. I get it all back, plus even more. And he's locked into Outrage still, so I'm just going to let him Outrage so I can get even more healing, because once my Hippowdon gets some healing, I mean, it's impossible to be killed by some of these things my opponent is running. I don't know one of his Pokemon, but I know the Pokemon I have seen, Flygon and Scizor, won't do crap to me. They can do nothing to me. So yeah, he goes out into Scizor now, and I know he had to switch here, so I decided to go for the Roar, and that turns out to be pretty nice. I get to see his last Pokemon, which is a Jirachi, and I'm not really sure what kind of Jirachi this is, so I decide, I don't even know, I'm just going to go for the Earthquake, because I wanted to get damage on this guy. And he goes for the Psychic, so unfortunately for me, it is a special Jirachi, but I still take that Psychic fairly nicely. So this is some kind of bulky Jirachi, I'm thinking. Maybe a sub Calm Minder, I'm not really sure. It does carry the leftovers, but I'm not really afraid of sub Calm Mind because I can break the sub with Earthquake. And, of course, the Calm Minds would suck, but yeah. He goes for the Wish as I go for the Earthquake, and I don't want to risk him getting, like, I don't know, like, I don't want him to get the wished Pokemon that he wants to get wished, so I'm just going to go for the Roar. So he doesn't get, like, if he switches into a Pokemon he wants to get wished, I can Roar it out, so it won't get wished, and he goes out into Scizor, so that makes a lot of sense, because wishing that Scizor would be pro. But I was even more pro, and decided to Roar that Scizor out into the Flygon, who doesn't need it at all, so that's pretty nice. And now he's into Flygon again, and he's going to go for the Outrage, I guess for damage, but yeah, my Hippowdon is a freaking beast, and doesn't take anything from that, and I just Roar. And, yeah, he goes back into Scizor, who's taking even more damage to Stealth Rocks, and, yeah, it's not good for him. So, I don't know what he's going to do. I decided to go Slack Off, I think. He just goes Bullet Punch, because he's just praying to do something to me, and he even gets a crit. But I survive it, because Hippowdon is that much of a beast that he can survive a crit Bullet Punch. An unresisted crit Bullet Punch from a Choice Band Scizor. That is pretty awesome. How many Pokemon can really do that? Anyway, so he's going to keep doing it, but he's not going to get lucky like that time, get a crit, so now my Hippowdon is like full health again, so that's pretty nice for me, and I'm just going to try to kill the Scizor off now with a Earthquake, and I'm just kind of hoping to kill it, but I actually don't, because it survives with like red hit points. Like, look at that. That is like no hit points at all, but he survives, and that's kind of balls, because now he can hit me with another Bullet Punch. But that means I can always just heal myself again, so I'm not really too worried about it. And instead of finishing him off with Earthquake, just because I don't know, I just go for the Roar. Yeah, instead of going Earthquake. It doesn't really matter, because when that Scizor comes back in, you know, it's going to die to the Stealth Rock, so there you go. So I Roar, and he goes back into Flygon, and, yeah, not much to say about this. I completely own this Flygon, and he's going to lock himself into Outrage, and my Hippowdon's going to take that like a total beast, and then Roar, and then he goes out into Jirachi, and I know he can Psychic me, but I really just want to take this Jirachi out, so I'm going to go for the Earthquake. It's a risky play, but I don't think the Psychic will do all too much to me, so here we go. He Psychics, and, yeah, I get hit down to 109, so that's pretty low. That's the lowest I've been all game, I think, except for that crit that I slacked off immediately afterwards. But, yeah, I killed that Jirachi, and that's freaking awesome. And he goes down to Flygon, and I'm like, well, maybe I can survive a Outrage. I'm actually pretty sure I can, but the game finally decides to, like, hate my Hippowdon and say, look, I'm through with this stupid Hippowdon, and he gets the crit on that Outrage, and that is the end of a great poke. But now that he's locked in Outrage, I mean, it gives me something to set up on. I go out into my Empoleon, and he does Outrage it because he's locked into it, does do decent damage, but I do get an Agility off, and for some reason I was stupid and didn't check my speed, because now I'm thinking I'm faster, so I decided to go for the sub, but I'm not faster. I should have went for the second Agility there, so that was kind of silly of me. So I'm just going to go for the Agility again, I guess, and he does end up hurting himself in his confusion, so that sucks for him. That's really the game, because now that Empoleon is faster than him, I just go for Ice Beam, kill him, and his Scizor dies to the incoming Stealth Rocks. So yeah, great game, Ludicolul. Wow, I really enjoyed using my Hippowdon again. That thing is a beast. I mean, I've forgotten how, like, early in all my early battles, I use this Hippowdon, and it walls things just like this, and it's just really awesome poke. So yeah, guys, today's question of the day has to do with black and white. Yes, everyone, another black and white question. My bad, guys. But anyway, today's question of the day is: what do you think about these new cover Pokemon, these new Ubers of the new game? I really like the Pokemon White one, the actual black Pokemon, because they're reversed. You get the black guy in white, and the white guy in black, whatever. But the black one is like a juggernaut of death. I think his name is like Zekrom. So I'm definitely getting Pokemon White. Because that other Pokemon just looks like an angel fairy retard, and I just don't want to deal with it because it looks dumb and I would hate it. So, yeah, leave a comment about what you guys think about these cover Pokemon, and rate, comment, subscribe. Bye!